All right, sitting down now with Anil Nathan, co-founder of Military 250, and also I gotta say this: we got some connections here because we're from the same region. Grew
That's
up
right.
outside of Frederick. But Anil, great to chat with you and great to meet with you. But tell people first off before we get going, what is Military 250?
Yeah, Military 250. So little known fact that we're trying to spread awareness about, but this year is actually the 250th birthday of the Army, Navy, and Marine Corps. And so, everybody knows next year is the 250th birthday of the country, but 1775 was actually the year that the Army, Navy, and Marine Corps were founded. And so we're a group of veterans and military family members who are using the celebration of service, past 250 years of men and women who have, honorably served our country to inspire people to serve in new ways, right? Both the veteran and military family community, you don't have to wear a uniform to serve. So we're creating awareness about opportunities to engage in your community, work with other nonprofits, basically just honoring service through service.
That's awesome. And also when I brought up your connection, I mean, being in the Maryland region and, growing up, I got family lives in Annapolis now.
Yeah.
Naval Academy's down there. It's really cool. And also, I don't know where I was. Maybe I wasn't paying attention as much as I should have in school. But 1775, I didn't know that for the year.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
250 exactly.
250 exactly. Yeah, it's later in the year. I think the exact dates. It's like August and September for Army, Navy, and Marine Corps. But yeah, it's a big milestone.
That's amazing. So, what out of curiosity, what prompted you specifically to drive towards doing this?
Yeah, so there's a group of us, as I mentioned. We're an organization of veterans and military family members. The organization nonprofit is called We the Veterans and Military Families, and we started a few years ago. And essentially, it was this mission around how do we get the veteran and military family community, this incredibly patriotic, service-oriented group of people all across the nation, to step up and serve again in new ways, right? What better group of people to kind of unite against the things that divide us and find ways to make connections than that group. And so we ran a campaign in 2022 and 2024 in partnership with the NFL, NASCAR, NBA, a lot of other organizations called Vet the Vote, which was a campaign to recruit veterans and military family members to serve as poll workers.
Yeah.
So working our elections, an incredibly important job that a lot of people don't know is, a really core part of what makes our democracy run. We recruited 163,000 people last year to work the elections, which is about 15% of the entire poll worker force. And so this campaign, Military 250, is a bit of obviously this isn't an election year, but we don't need an election, and we need people to serve, continuously throughout the year. And so we're trying to highlight new ways and organizations and people that are doing that.
Well, I also love why I wanted you to bring that up is to reemphasize your connection is the relatability. It's families and people that are involved specifically and understand what your mission is to try to get out there.
Yeah.
So people can really know where it's coming from. And it's coming from people that get the message.
Yeah.
And so
100%.
I think that's really cool. You got to do some really cool things. It sounds like overall, I mean, heck, we're new to this as far as with the whole Radio Row side of it and the whole NFL side. Of all the events, actually, we'll start with this with football since we're here.
Yeah.
What is one of the moments that you've really enjoyed that you've gotten to do with your partnership with the NFL?
Yeah, I mean, the NFL has been a fantastic partner over the years, the past few years with Vet the Vote, and then obviously now with Military 250. But, I would say obviously coming to Radio Row this is our third year now on Radio Row. So it's been great to just kind of be a part of it and talk about everything that we're doing, but also we're capturing content for our podcast. And so that's been fantastic. But no, I mean, just even getting out to the games, we've done in-game activations with a bunch of the teams where we've highlighted veterans and military family members, like walked out onto the field at halftime. It's just been a fantastic partnership overall. So can't say enough about how much they've done for us as our organization, but also everything they do for the veteran and military family community broadly.
Any interesting moments you've had over the years here? Fun stories with it? I mean, heck, we had so many things yesterday where I'm sitting here going, did that kind of just happen or what the heck's going on? Do you have any of those memories since being here so far?
I mean,
maybe even start. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
No, I was gonna. I mean, just honestly, yesterday. So I'm a big Commanders fan. So I support the Ravens. I root for the Ravens, but I kind of grew up as a Redskins fan and now a Commanders fan. And so honestly, just even seeing Jaden Daniels walking around yesterday was like a bit of like he's the truth.
So it's funny. I saw a comment. Maybe it was with Pat McAfee show where he's like, he had people thanking him on the plane. He's like, thank you. You saved me. It's like, well, did I save you? But that's the type of impact it's been. How great would it have been if we had a Commanders-Ravens Super Bowl and the whole Maryland, D.C. region was at the epicenter of the football world? One could dream.
That's a dream. Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, it doesn't feel like it's that far away now. You know, you got Lamar in Baltimore, you got Jaden in DC. I mean, that's what a great time to be a football fan in the area.
It would be fantastic. I will say, I was in Buffalo for the Ravens-Bills game. It was a rough go for the squad there.
Right.
Buffalo's amazing. You been up there for games at all?
I haven't, but my dad, quick story on my dad. He actually moved from India to Buffalo in the late 60s. He ended up getting drafted into the military, but his formative years in the country were in Buffalo, going to Bills games, sitting on the bleachers. So he's a huge Bills fan. So I by proxy am a little bit also.
Well, you should go up there then, because we went to the Pinto tailgate, and that's where Pinto Ron, his name's Kenny, by the way, which I don't know where the correlation stopped there. But go Pinto Ron, they douse him in ketchup and mustard after every tailgate. He didn't do it because it was 5 degrees for that one. And then Pizza Pete grill makes pizzas out of a filing cabinet. I'm going way off topic here, but I love the environments. I love the community of how things are. And look, I'm always rooting for the Commanders. Hey, I know the Nationals, you have the connection there. That's where I started my baseball career. Yeah. So hey, go Nats, man. I'm all for them. But yeah, I'm rooting for the Ravens and the Orioles. They're not rivals, so we're good.
Different leagues, so you can support both.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. And I love this. We got more Maryland. The Maryland connection down here makes me feel good. We got a lot of people that enjoy it. What are so obviously mentioned with baseball.
Thank you.
Are there anything specifically? I guess we're kind of blessed with that. Four major sports teams. Can't forget the Caps though. Go Caps.
Yeah.
But for those teams, what do you enjoy about with baseball?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't grow up. Obviously I grew up an Orioles fan, right? And then when the Nats came into DC, just because I've always been a Redskins fan and Commanders fan.
Yeah, it's okay. There's no hard feelings there. Not really.
But
on air, there's not.
The Nationals been it's just been a crazy ride, especially going up into 2019. That was at that moment. It was maybe still since has been the pinnacle of my sports fandom was World Series win in 2019.
Were you a big Baby Shark guy then when that happened?
Yeah. I was.
Were you the ones doing it with everybody?
Yeah. It's better than the Wave, but
wow, the Wave. Okay, that might be a good last thing before we wrap everything up. So clearly, you're not a fan of the Wave. This is a very polarizing conversation, by the way. Yeah. So you are anti-Wave.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least the Wave just feels like you're not at the game. You're just kind of hanging out or whatever. At least the Baby Shark thing was it was in response to Gerardo Parra, and he was there was there's something related to what was going on in the game. So
we have people that actually it. Their blood boils over the Wave. Hey, look, I'm all about people having a good time, but if your team's down 5 runs or you're doing the Wave, I'm not about it. Also, close game in the 8th inning, and that's happening as a player, and I've seen it happen. It's this is kind of cool, but also I hope our pitcher doesn't get distracted and just does his thing. But I guess they're professionals, right? They got to do what they got to do. Before we close everything out, where can everyone then find what you're doing so they can continue to follow or be a part of the journey and the process as you guys continue to move forward?
Yeah, best place for information is our website, which is military250, written out 250.org. So military250.org. All the information about the campaign and where we're going to start. We're using this week essentially as a kickoff of everything for the rest of the year. And so a lot more information to come there through our socials. So definitely follow us on that.
Perfect. Well, I'm going to have to figure out more with Military 250 for next year. Well, I guess it's this year, technically.
Next year will be America 250. So,
they'll be fantastic. So I can't wait for that. I can't wait to talk with you guys more, but appreciate you taking the time. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the Super Bowl week.
Likewise. Thanks for having me.